Oh, golly, good morning. There's some trickery going on in here this morning. We're gonna show you a really cool quilt, but so we were trying to figure out how to see us on the bottom and the quilt on the top. So I had my face right on her phone. It was a little scary. Right, right. So Miss Lizzie's doing a sound check for us, and she's shaking her head and giving us a thumb. But is it two thumbs or just one? Oh, it's two thumbs. Look, two thumbs up. So first of all, we would like to welcome our friend Susan back again. She came one time and did scallop borders for us, but now we have her coming for another thing. So Miss Susan is our first class up next week, and she's going to do a strippy quilt. So I'm going to let Susan tell you about this amazing quilt.
Well, first of all, because of our being a quilter, we've all been in situations where we've exchanged blocks with others. And then so you have this stack of blocks that you don't know exactly what to do with. So the strippy quilt, which is up here on the wall, that Miss Vanna Fran is pointing out, I exchanged blocks 20 some odd years ago with some ladies, and then I took a class, and it was from a national teacher, and she said to bring your blocks and several other fabrics and a wonderful border print. Now, designers have lots and lots of border prints.
Can I hold these?
Well, I was just going to tip them like this.
Oh, I don't know if they can see them.
They can't see them? Okay. Okay, so these are all just some examples of what you can do with the border print. See, now this one, if you cut this for small blocks, you don't need much bigger than that. And then you have these, I'm going to just tip
take that one off.
These bigger, beautiful prints, lots of colors to them. Now, you're saying, well, I don't have any blocks. That's not a problem. If we take the class, I have some simple blocks that you will have a month to put them together in, and then come back and we'll sew on the second time.
Two-part class.
It's a two-part class, but we talk about fabrics to use as the setting triangles and the corner posts here, your border print, and then, of course, if you have an outside border. Now, some of these border prints are a directional design.
Which one do you want, Susie? This?
And they would work, but you might not put it between your blocks. It might be just top and bottom, or you might go all the way around your quilt. But you're going to design your quilt with just a little bit of help. And so that's what our class is. But if you don't have blocks, you can still take the class, because I'll give you some simple blocks to make, and then you can come back and it'll be your quilt. No one else will have a quilt like yours.
So Susan, tell me, what size blocks can you use in this? Is there a certain size you have to use?
No.
Okay.
I have some small heart blocks that I have at home that I did in an exchange with. They are going to finish at 4 inches.
Okay.
So I would use a smaller border.
Stripe. Okay.
A smaller stripe, a smaller border to put those together. But you can go up to a 12-inch block is going to make a big quilt.
Oh, you can get a big quilt done quickly.
Yes, very quickly.
Blocks. Nice.
And then these are 6.
6. Nice. And what size did your quilt make with 6-inch blocks?
Well, it's a good lap quilt.
Nice.
It will fit on a twin bed, but it just to cover.
Just to cover.
It wouldn't be to tuck or anything.
So if you had 6-inch blocks that you wanted to use, though, you could definitely add more rows and length, right? To make it if you wanted it to.
I had to make a few more blocks to get the setting I wanted for this quilt.
Okay.
And so if you only have half the blocks, you can always hurry and put a few more together to make it as big as you want.
Nice. And I wish you guys could see this quilt up close. Susan is an amazing hand quilter. And this quilt has been hand quilted.
Yes, it has been.
She tried to teach me. I think she gave up. She said, oh.
I did not give up.
I gave up.
I told you to practice.
She did tell me to practice. I gave up. So when we brought him up here to the front, and we were so proud of ourselves, we said, look at our hand quilt. One of my gals said, oh, you're just basting it first. So apparently my quilting is not great, but there you are. There you are. So this is our amazing quilt. And That class I forgot to write down. Oh, Miss Liz wrote it down. Good job, Miss Lizzie. Okay, this one will be the first part is April 16th, which is next. Is that
Tuesday.
next Thursday? Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then May 14th. So we have almost a month. Well, we do have 4 weeks in between to make some extra little blocks if we wanted. So,
and another thing on those little blocks, if you have purchased charm packs, those 5-inch squares, they make up really fast. You can do simple 4 patches, you can do 9 patches, you can do churn dashes. They can do almost anything with those.
Oh, that would be a great way to use up some of your charm packs that you don't know what to do with.
Yeah, because we've all collected those too.
No, Susan, just stop telling stories on us.
Can I throw my 2 cents?
Please.
I think this would be a great way to use orphan blocks.
Yes.
They're just extra practice blocks you made. Or, like, for example, Second Saturday. Sometimes I've made a block and I thought, I love this block and I want to make it again. That would be a good time to pull out patterns you already have and use some of your favorites there.
So the second class will be on May 14th from the same time from 11 until 2. And guys, for both classes, Susan's only charging us $40 to come and spend all day with us. So that will be real. And another thought that I just had while we were talking about orphan blocks, could we take, say I have some 4-inch blocks and I want to use those with my 6-inch blocks. Could I frame around those or would it look funny?
No, you bet.
Look at that. I could use all kinds of orphan blocks to make my strippy quilt nice.
Because we will be making sure they're all square when you get started sewing, because you don't want to try to put a block that's not quite going to finish at 6 and one that does finish a little over 6.
Just stretch it a little bit.
They just don't go together
just
very
stretch it a little bit, Susie, or suck it in. You know, just either way works.
I guess.
Let's tell what Susan also teaches.
Yes. So, so much. So Susan actually is always here. She teaches 3 classes every single month, Quilters Kindergarten, and they are amazing classes. So if you are a beginner or if you have a project that you're working on, and we were just talking Second Saturday.
I have a lot of ladies that come and do Second Saturday.
Right in the class.
Because the first class is typically the right after they get their blocks. And it's like, I don't know how to do this.
So these are always the 3rd Wednesday of every month. She does 2 classes, one that goes from 10 until 1, and the second one goes from 1:30 to 4:30. And then also on the 3rd Saturday of every month, for those that are working, she also does a class from 10 to 1 on that 3rd Saturday. And she is an amazing, amazing teacher. I'll probably make her blush. I've known Susan for a lot of years, and I still continue to learn things from her. She's good. She's one of those fortunate ones that had a family that she would sit under grandma's quilting frames and watch them quilt. So Susie's been doing it for a long time. So, and the other class that Susan is teaching, oh, thank you, Susan, later on, and I didn't write down the date on this one, Susan is going to be doing an English paper piecing class. You might want to bring that up and show it a little bit closer, Susan.
You're going to learn the basic technique, but you can, as you can see, I made this one into a small pin cushion. It fits down inside this glass dish. I'm going to drop that pin. It fits down inside this glass dish very easily. So it makes a very cute pin cushion, but it will be the basics of English paper piecing.
Yes.
And I think that one is June the 20.
I was going to say, oh, there we go.
7th.
Nice.
Or 26th.
27th is what we have. Should it be the 26th?
No.
Okay.
It could be.
You know what? Come both days. It will let you know when that one really is.
But it's in June, so you've got a little time to think about that one.
For that one, yes. Yep. So those are just a couple of the classes that Susan does for us. So if you want to come take a class from an amazing teacher, don't miss coming to one of Susan's. You do need to either go online or come into the store and pre-register so that Susan knows how many are in her class. So and the class sizes are limited, so that way you will know for sure that you've got a spot.
Right.
Susan will for sure know how many to plan for in her classes.
Uh-huh.
Great.
So
Thank
Rudy
you.
says, what good looking babe.
I love you, Rudy. And my shelves are beautiful this morning, I just want to say. So Rudy is Susan's. Just see how red Susan's just got.
She answered her shirt.
I do.
Rudy is Susan's sweet husband. So he comes in and helps me. In fact, if you ever come in and you see all of our beautiful cabinets, 99.9% of these cabinets have been made for us from Rudy. He's such a great friend. He's a character. We love our Rudy. He's a good guy. Thanks for calling us beautiful babes, by the way there. Thank you, Susan.
Well, I'm going to give up my mic.
Give up your mic.
Little
Okay.
handoff, thank you.
Little handoff. There
Okay,
we go.
Get yours untucked from your.
Oh! Turns out I was hiding mine all along, right?
Hiding it under a
while
bushel.
Liz brings the camera up to show closer and to the back, I'm going to set up because we have a little demo.
We're going to do a little demo, but let's really quick talk about Shop Pop.
Oh,
let's not forget about that.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys! You see the circles under my eyes and the bags. There's a reason. Shop Pop goes from April 26th until May 4th. And we have been busy little bees at our store making not only new samples for all of our classes, but new samples for the store. Oh my gosh, I just have a great big huge shout out to everybody that works here because, oh my gosh, you guys just wait until you see. I hope that you can come and join us.
Yes.
The hours are 10 to 5 every day.
No, 10 to 6.
Oh gosh,
10 to 6.
They did tell me I had to stay that extra hour. I need my beauty rest. I might need to go home and take a nap in the middle of the afternoon.
That's the 26th of
April through May 4th, but not Sunday.
Yeah, not Sunday.
Everybody
Take a break.
Needs a day of rest.
And we do too, because we're working hard. But we're so excited. It's going to be such a fun year.
Oh my gosh, wait until I show you later in my office. Lynette went shopping for us and found some great decorations. We're going to turn this place into the hula hut.
Well, I think I saw a little wool sample back there.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing.
Should we give them a sneak peek?
Oh, you could.
I could. You could. And tell them about the passports and so forth.
There's no passports this year. There actually haven't been passports for the last couple of years, but someone did ask that question a week ago. I don't know. Anyway, someone asked that question. So there are no passports this year, so just come to any of the shops that you can. I'm going to have to ask Fran. In the past couple of years, they've done an extra prize. Are they doing the extra prize for going north and south?
Yes, they are. I think it's either a $200 or a $250 gift certificate to be used at any store that you want for a drawing.
So make sure if you are planning to go all the way from Logan to Springville that you get that extra drawing. So you pick it up at your first store that you go to, whether you start south or north, and then drop it off at the other one. So make sure to remember to do that because that's an extra prize and not not as many people are in that drawing. So you have a good chance of winning that one. So, but it's so fun to get together with girlfriends and to go. And so, where there's no passports, you don't have to go to every store, but go to as many as you can. We've made it longer than it has been in years past. Sometimes it's only been 4 days.
Right. I like that better. I'm all get tired, guys.
But you have longer to go. You can hit a couple stores if you need to or get together. We usually do it in 2 days. Usually my girlfriends and I, well, it's all my family basically, but.
And your girlfriends too.
Yeah, they are. We have so much fun. So, anyway, we usually do it in 2 days. Sometimes we've stayed in the middle. My mom kind of lives in the middle. So
that's kind of
we live at my mom's house for a day.
But it is fun. And I went to the Shop Hop meeting a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And saw everyone's free patterns that they will be giving out. So you'll be excited about that. And each store's a little bit different. Some may play games, some may,
just everyone gets to do some fun stuff.
I just have to tell you, I think we're the funnest. Because we do have a lot of fun. I am still trying to talk Lynn into wearing a grass skirt and a coconut bra.
Because it's bucket lists, and so we're a trip to Hawaii.
We are. And do they not wear coconut bras and
grass skirts? They do!
See? To be authentic. He told me nobody needs to see that.
But our man who works here is so lovely.
He says, nobody needs to see that, Fran.
But we do have some fun things that we'll be doing here.
And are you ready for this?
Yes, I think we should
This is only one of the little pineapple-y things that we
I
at
love it.
I'm going to get it up nice and close because I really want you to see the stitches. So Julie did this sample for us, and Roxy quilted it. I think she did
she did an amazing job.
She's been working her little fingers to the bone doing quilts for us for our new quilt samples that we have in the store. And oh my gosh, Lynette has been making the cutest little bags. Roxy has been doing a lot of her clay things. Oh my word.
We're going to have so much fun.
So many great gifty items.
Are we going to have pies?
No.
No pies this year?
No pies. Because you know what happened to Sharon?
No.
Sharon has a hip that needs to be replaced. She's in excruciating pain, and her insurance won't cover it. I can't talk about insurance because then I get turned into an ugly person, and I don't want everybody to see
we know many of you have enjoyed our pies the last couple of years, our little pie cushions, but not this year.
No,
dang it.
She's
hopefully
just really
soon.
Struggling. I just hope that she can get some relief.
Some relief,
from the
exactly.
pain she's got going.
Oh, dang
she
it.
did come into the store. I hadn't heard from her for months.
Yeah.
And she came into the store one day, and I could tell there was something not quite right. And so I said, Sharon, how are you? And she told me about this hip. And
dang it.
I know.
Dang it.
So I'm hoping by now maybe she's
got some
she's
help.
had all of these different doctors submit that
it's necessary. Dang it.
No.
Okay.
So no pies.
Well,
but we have some.
We have lots of things.
We have lots.
And you know that
things.
We have fun, and we always are having a party in here.
We're going to practice our hula dancing.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
We're going to have good.
It's going to be great.
So we're going to move locations. Was there anything else we needed to say?
No, just do jump on our website or come in the store and see. We did talk about our classes. Open house last week. But if you're interested, make sure you bounce either on the website and sign up, or come into the store. We'd love to see your lovely faces as well. So come.
So we're going to have a quick location change, but I think I need to show this au naturel quilt.
Oh, because it's amazing.
This is a new block of the month that we just started, and look. See, I'm going to step out of the way so you can see. Look how gorgeous that is. So it just barely started. We have a few spots left. It's a really beautiful, soft, and even some deeper purples, soft greens, and cream. It is gorgeous. So come take a look, and if you're interested in signing up for the block of the month, I think you can do that online as well, or come into the store. So now, sorry, whenever we have to move, I try not to make you sick. Okay, so this really quick, I wanted to give you a close-up of this quilt. Do you see that it's hand quilted?
Did that.
Okay.
Good. Now everybody knows my secrets of how I get my back to be a little bit better. Sorry y'all heard that, but you know, Fran, she sometimes has no filters.
Okay. We're gonna tip it. I think a little bit.
Good, because I have something
there
amazing.
We go. This is mostly just on your cutting mat. Is that okay?
Oh, that's perfect. That's right where I need it to be. Yes, please. Technical difficulties?
Oh, yeah. So we had a blackout for a second, but
we're back. Blackout for a second. Too bad you didn't black out earlier when I was talking about other things. Okay, so I am going to show you an amazing ruler by Creative Grids. It is called the Stripology Ruler, and I don't know that you're going to be able to see it really well, but what I wanted to show you is, we try and do a little demo every once in a while too, so that we hope we can teach you a little something. So this little cute kit that we just are getting ready to do, I will show you this picture. As I'm looking at the directions last night, I thought, oh, hold up, Nellie Bell, because guess what? You're going to cut this layer cake. You're going to cut 7-inch squares, and then you're going to cut 1.5-inch strips. And I thought, oh, do I have a tool for that? So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to cut it kind of a little bit reverse of what the pattern is, just because I want a good crisp edge on the one side. The other side that is my square, it can be a little bit smaller and it won't make any difference. So first thing we're going to do is I am going to put this amazing ruler right along here. I'm going to line up one of my nice straight edges down at the bottom. And I know you probably can't see this, and you know I don't have all of my squares even here. So we're gonna move those around just a little, like so. Okay, then I'm gonna take this ruler, and along this Stripology ruler, I'm gonna line up this nice straight edge along the bottom of my layer cake. I'm gonna lay this nice straight one right along the edge of my layer cake over here. And I'm gonna make my first cut. And this has little, you know, this might not be my best. I love Christiane, but she works in the back with a rotary cutter that sometimes is not so great. Okay, so now I've cut that side so I know I've got a good crisp edge over there. I am now going to cut 2 1.5-inch strips off here because that's what I need to have for this. Oh, thank you, Miss Liz. Let's try this and see if it's better. So the cool thing about this little ruler, it has little squares. The squares are, it has squares, and those are 2.5. Every time you see a square, that's going to be a 2.5-inch cut because we cut a lot of 2.5-inch strips, right? And it has stars. Those stars, every time you see a star down here on the bottom, those are 1.5 inches. And remember, I just said we're going to cut 1.5-inch strips. So I'm going to find my first star, and I am going to come right here. I don't think that one was any better, Miss Lizzie. And I will tell you, I have 6 layers in here right now. So I'm going to go 1.5, and then I'm going to go 3.
But you don't have to think about it because you just know you go to the next
look
store.
At the star. You just look at the star. Okay, so now that one was on 3 inches. So over here to my edge, I have another 7 inches. So that's going to be my 7-inch square. But now I need to turn my block around, or just turn my, I'm going to take these 2 strips off that I just cut. And I'm going to take this 7-inch piece now, and now I'm going to line up the edge of this again, right along the edge here, and I'm going to come over here to my 7 inches, and we're going to make another cut. There's my 7-inch square, just that easy, or almost. If you had a nice sharp blade.
That is the thing. If you're going to cut a lot of layers.
Yeah, you really need a good sharp new blade in there. I probably should have done that. And then this is my last piece that's here. And I need to cut myself 2 more 1.5 by 7-inch pieces. So again, I'm going to come over here to my star, which is my 1.5. I'm going to give it a good cut, or try. I'm going to give it a good cut. And then over here on my 3-inch, we're going to just cut that, barely that little edge off right there. We'll saw through it a few times. With a good sharp blade, you don't have to do that. It's just going to come through there just so easily. Now, the other thing that we need to do on here is it tells me I need a 1.5-inch square from each of these pieces. So instead of grabbing my ruler, I can just come over here again.
You need to keep these ones 7.
Yes.
So you're going to
No, I've already got my 7 here. So I just need...
You need to keep that 7
off of here. You're right. Oh gosh, Miss Liz just saved me. Oh, don't cut your 7.
Don't cut your 7.
No,
don't cut your extra.
Just cut your extra piece. This one was that 1.5 by 10, the first piece we cut.
Yes.
So now, thank you, Miss Liz. I would have been so upset because now, guess what? My piece would not have matched. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut that 1.5-inch square off the end of that, and then we can. I did it. And then we could take this piece. And we could come over here, and we could do our 7. Well, just saw on it because our blade is really bad.
But the good point with the Stripology ruler is it keeps all your fabric steady. So if you do have to go back and make an extra cut,
and saw
you
for
can.
a
But
if
you're going to cut 6, 8 layers at a time, which I've cut up to 8 with my Stripology, just change your blade.
Yeah, use a good sharp blade when you first start because you don't want to have to saw. But I just wanted to just take a second and show you just how doggone quickly that could cut all of, well, Now that's really bad. We're just going to set that aside and pretend that we had a good sharp blade. I'm not cutting any more of those.
But look at all those
But look
pieces.
at this. I mean, if this would have cut instead when I was sawing, if that would have just cut, we're going to just lay it under there and pretend that it did, right?
So you have 24 1.5 by 7s.
Look at that.
You have 6 1.5-inch squares and 6 7-inch squares. And how long was that?
2 seconds. 2 seconds. And if I had a sharp blade, I would cut the rest of the pieces and show you just how quickly I could cut this entire quilt, because it is so quick and so fun and fast and easy. I love this Stripology ruler, and they're a little pricey. I'm not going to tell you a fib. They are a little pricey. But, oh my gosh, the amount of time that you can save in using this ruler.
Amazing.
It really is. And it's so boring when you're sitting there cutting all those strips. And this was just 6 because I do need 30 of those. So I started off with piles of 8. And I'm really glad I wasn't trying to saw through 8 pieces this morning. So just that quick and easy, though. You can cut an entire, I bet, what do you think? Maybe 10 minutes?
Maybe
10 minutes and I could have this.
Especially if you had a sharp blade, you'd be zip, zip, zip.
Yeah, that would help.
But these smaller ones, let's show these really quick.
Let's show these as well.
I just got this one and I'm so excited. This one has strips or slits every 1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch.
And it's smaller. It only is 6.5 inches up to 7.5. But I'm so excited. If you're cutting a tiny quilt, tiny pieces, tiny things for this is amazing.
And odd sizes. You can, and I will murder her name. Gudrun?
Erla?
I think so.
You think?
Gudrun? It might be Gudrun. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not really mutilating her name. She's amazing. She also has a little book that she has written.
Oh, and I just got that book too.
I know. I couldn't find mine.
Did I?
That's nothing.
Mine off the shelf. I didn't take yours.
You didn't take mine. Mine's lost somewhere in my sewing room.
But keep your instructions that come with these, because they tell you how to cut different things than just 1/2-inch cuts, which you see on here.
Right. That's what I was just going to say. She shows you how you can move the root, even if you just have the big Stripology ruler. She shows you different ways that she can move that. You can move that to make different size cuts. So yeah, they're pretty darned amazing. And then this is just the mini one. Again, this one does 1/2-inch cuts, but you can slide the ruler and do 1/4-inch cuts. So if you're doing smaller pieces, the smaller ones would be really nice. Then you don't have all the bulk from the big one.
And this is a little bit big, so you need to make sure to store this really well, because it can break. You don't want any of these slits to break, and you don't want it to warp. So find a good place. Either they do have holes, so if you've got a good place, you could hang it, or I've got a good place. I kind of slide them in, and they're not flopping. They're kind of supported. But I actually have like 3 of these, and I bought a competitor's that's not Stripology, and it's not the same
because the slits in between are bigger, aren't they?
No, they're not bigger. It's longer. I can cut with the fabric, but I don't feel like it's stable. Because the slits are longer, and so I feel like I sometimes get a little bit of a wobbly cut. And so anyway,
I've never gotten a wobbly cut.
No, I haven't with Stripology. And you just get super accurate and then super quick. So to me, they're worth the investment.
I think so. I use mine. I use that big one so much.
Me too.
It has more than paid for itself in what it saved me in time alone.
I know.
I love it. I love it. So that's what we wanted to show you this morning for our demo, was how cool those Stripology. And you know what I did? I stole that idea from Donna. We were talking this morning, and Donna has a group of ladies coming, and we were talking about Village Vibes, and I said, I want to do a demo, but I'm not quite sure. I've got a couple ideas. And she said, well, I've got ladies coming to my quilt store today, and I'm going to do a demo on the Stripology ruler. So as I was looking around for these other things, I thought, oh, heck no. I got this quilt I need to cut. I'm going to take that and show everybody just how quickly this works.
Well, let's bring this up. This quilt is 53 by 64, and we think you can have this cut in 15 minutes.
Oh, at the very
So isn't that amazing? I mean, that's not borders and stuff, but pretty quick.
pretty darn quick. Because from here, all I'm going to do with this, once I've got these cut, I have to cut that one in half.
Which you can do your stripology too.
Absolutely, you
on
can.
That.
You can use that, and you set it on point in there. So you definitely can do that.
I did that for the first time this weekend, and it worked perfect.
It does. It works nice because you've got two nice. You got all kinds of lines that you can make sure that you've got them all lined up horizontal and vertically. So
well, and I did some sewing this weekend where I had to cut a square 1/4 inch off center.
Oh.
And I was able to lay my Stripology ruler with that 1/4 inch line corner to corner, and it was slick.
You smart. You pretty
slick.
And smart.
It was slick. So if you can't tell, we're fans.
We love
I
it.
need a shirt that says Stripology fan. #1 Stripology fan.
I'm a
Stripology fan. I like it. I like it. Because
it's a really
I love to sew, and cutting is okay, but cutting just gets me to the sewing part. And so, but also, if I can cut accurately, I'm just so much more successful.
And here's a big thing when you're doing, especially when you start using different specialty rulers. I always say, if you possibly can, use the same brand, because sometimes where those lines are, and really in the bigger pieces, it's not going to make too much difference. But when you start doing those minis, if your line is even a hair different, that hair can make a difference if your points are going to come out as a point or if they're going to be hiding. So if you can do that, and Creative Grids, I haven't found a Creative Grids ruler yet that I didn't like. I love their grippies on the back. I love their thin lines. I love their nice numbers. I love everything about it.
And when you get used to one brand too, your brain kind of thinks in that mode. Right. And so that's my problem, is when I switch back and forth, I go, now what am I looking at and where are the lines? But if I just stick with Creative Grids, I have some specialty rulers that I have to think about a little bit, but anyway, it's just easier.
From getting dementia. I heard that on the radio on my way in. It said to keep, dementia at bay, keep your mind active, make sure you do a lot of social things, do things that make you think. So, ta-da, you won't get dementia, at least today or tomorrow.
So I'm reading a new book called The Thursday Murder Club. Have you heard of it?
Oh, no.
I'm barely into it. It's funny. It's really funny. But a lady she's in a retirement center, and she's trying to keep her mind active. So she has a planner, and she writes a question for herself of something that happened that day. She writes it in 2 weeks on her planner, and then writes the answer at the bottom. And then in 2 weeks, she has to think back what happened, and then she has the answer at the bottom. I thought, that's interesting.
Well, that's a great
Test
idea.
yourself.
Oh, I have a hard time remembering if I managed to put both shoes on the right feet this
I couldn't even tell you what I wore yesterday. I have no clue. Pajamas?
I'm pretty sure I wore clothes because I had to come to work. I had to stop and think about that. Let's see, did I get out of my pajamas? Yeah, I did. I did. I wore clothes because I did have to come to work yesterday. But we hope that you have enjoyed that. We really hope that you've all marked your calendar for Shop Hop.
Yes,
and that you will come and join us for some of our amazing classes. They're all listed on our website, so you can go on there and take a look at them. And in your pajamas, you can stay in your jammies.
Let's see if we've got any comments that I missed.
Let's see if people have commented.
Stretch Turnbow Trowbridge. Sorry, I kind of ruined that. She says, use a 5-pound weight at the top end of your long rulers when cutting your fabric. So I've seen how people have done that.
Yes.
The little dumbbell trick. So that is a good idea.
Thank you for the tip. Yes.
And then,
because as you're cutting, if you've got a long ruler and you've got your hand down here, as you get up here, that ruler does start to go north or southward.
Well, and we talked about that a long time ago. We did a cutting thing, but you never cut past your hand. Exactly. And that helps a little bit. But I love the 5-pound weight idea.
I love that. Would it have to be a 5-pound, or could it be a little lighter? I wonder. I'm gonna have to.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to do some checking and see. Thank you for the
tip. Pam says you have so many good ideas, and I use them. Thank you. We hope that we've taught you something.
We do. Every once in a while, along with the sewing We really do try to provide some
helpful
useful information. Mostly we just want you to laugh.
I was going to say, if you don't learn something, you laugh, right?
Yeah, absolutely you do. And we hope so, because who doesn't need to start their day great?
Yes.
Okay, but I have to share something with you. So I try and give myself these little inspirational talks in the morning, right? And so I try and say, okay, what is your thing that, what are you going to do today? What's going to make it a good day for you? So the other day I said, okay, I am going to go through my day with a happy heart. Well, that happened until Liz called me and said, we got a problem with the subscription. And I went, so much
no
for
more
that.
happy heart.
So Debbie told me, okay, so here's what you do. You keep that thought for tomorrow and you add another one.
There you go.
I didn't do that, because then I forget what the one was for that day and I don't get to both of them. So no, move on. But so yeah, give yourself a little pep talk in the morning.
I like that.
It really helps me if I start out my day with a positive thought, and it can be anything as simple as I'm going to go through the day with a happy heart today. I mean, just something, and make it an attainable goal. Don't set yourself up for, well, although mine wasn't an attainable goal. It didn't happen but it was a good thought. It was a great thought. So, it just kind of helps me. And so we're hoping
positive energy is good.
Always great, right? And so we kind of hope that as you watch us on Tuesday mornings, because we are silly, we have a really good time doing this. We hope that you get a little chuckle along with us. So
learn something.
And well, that's always
or put something on your calendar, or find something you want to buy. We have all sorts of goals for you.
We sure do. We got lots of goals. And so I think that's it.
That's it.
Oh, great. So remember the 5-10 rule. We so love our 5-10 rule here. Smile and say hi, and do something really nice for yourself, and be kind to people that you meet along your journey today. So I think that's it for now. And we'll see you again.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining. We'll see you again next Tuesday. Have a great week, guys. Bye.